Remember, you can't beat the rich on NTA, and this is NTA. You're watching IPMAN Today. Remember, IPMAN Today is the flagship television show of IPMAN, and IPMAN is the acronym for the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. Every week on IPMAN Today, we'll bring you the latest in policies from Nigeria's oil and gas sector, and this week promises to be no different. We'll talk about pipeline vandalism and crude oil theft. Now, there's no gainsaying the truism that for Nigeria's economy to be upscaled to the level that we all desire to be, crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism must come to an end. So how do we put this menace to an end? How do we put it to a stop? This is what the president of IPMAN will be talking to us about. Remember, his name is Abubakar Shettima. He will be talking to us about crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism. All we need to know to ensure that this menace is brought to a total stop in Nigeria. Right after that segment, that is the verdict, I'll bring you a whole new segment called CNG Roundup by Tetraco Energy. President Bola Tinubu is very, very passionate about CNG, so we must keep talking about CNG. And this segment is a very interesting segment. We'll be talking about the role of natural gas in Nigeria's energy landscape, an overview of CNG, LPG, and PNG. And joining us on that episode of CNG Roundup will be one of the key stakeholders in Tetraco Energy. Now, this is IPMAN Today. This is the NTA Network. My name is Afamokone. I'll be back right after this short break. Don't touch your remote. You're welcome back from that short break. Let's just take you over now to the verdict with our national president of IPMAN, Abubakar Shettima, where he'll be talking about pipeline vandalism and crude oil theft. How do we put a stop to all of these menaces? He's next on your screen. Hello, you're welcome to this segment we call the verdict on IPMAN Today. And as usual, I have the president of IPMAN, Abubakar Shettima, on set with us. Mr. President, you're welcome once again, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Afan.
Good to see you once again, sir.
Thank you.
We are discussing critical issues today on the verdict on IPMAN Today. We are looking at the issues of oil theft, pipeline vandalism, and more. Can we talk, sir, how in your mind do you think pipeline vandalism started? Let's begin with pipeline vandalism. How did you think it started in Nigeria?
The way pipeline vandalism started in Nigeria, it has started for a very long time. Okay. And some are Nigerian youths, and there are some foreigners. So I think these people, they are the part of the people that started this vandalism.
Okay. Do you think pipeline vandalism is part of oil theft, or there are two different things?
Well, they are two different things, or I can say they are similar.
Okay.
Yes. So there are so many factors behind the reason why all these things have started. One is unemployment to the youths. And secondly, there are those who wanted to get money by all means. So actually, it's one of the factors.
Okay, sir. Let me also ask you this, because some people have said that oil theft usually occurs in the creeks where there are illegal refiners. But some people have also said that actually oil theft occurs at the point of export or at our flow stations. Where do you think oil theft happens, particularly, sir?
Well, it happens in both of the cases because there are so many arrests that we have been seeing every day. Immediately when there is an arrest, they will view it either in the creek or in the higher sea. So it depends on the capacity of the people who are doing the atrocity. If they are big people, definitely it will be on the sea. And those small ones, it will be on the creeks, that is vandalism of the pipes, and be collecting it through the other means.
Do you have an idea who are the brains behind this oil theft in Nigeria as a member of IPMAN, as the president, in fact, of IPMAN?
No, our members will never indulge in such kind of activities because already they have their filling station and they have the business that they have been running. And most of our members, they normally do their legitimate business. Well, You know, whenever we come to a situation whereby people are doing a wrong thing, definitely it has a side effect. And we, too, independent petroleum marketers, those people who are vandalizing the pipes, has really created a very big suffering to our members. Because in those days, even during that time there is bridging, but it's just a little because all the pipes are working. Now today, there is no way a product will be pushed from Lagos or Port Harcourt to the northern part of the country, or even those depots closer to the Lagos and the eastern part. It's very difficult because of pipeline vandalization. And all these depots are being created so that people will use this depot to be loading their product and carry it with a smaller distance to their filling station. But now today, it's not happening. So that will make we independent marketers will have to travel for a very long distance to load products and bring it to our various filling stations. So this issue of pipe vandalization has really affected my members nationwide, all over the country. So that is the reason why we are seriously against it. Yes, we have started making. That is the reason why we have been going around from one ministry to the other. Just of recent, we visited civil defense, whereby I requested partnership with them so that we can assist them in giving them information wherever we had the information so that we can fully participate to see how we can reduce this pipe vandalism. The same thing with the police. We went to the IG, we discussed, and the same thing with the Minister of Defense. We went to the Defense Minister, we have discussed all these issues. And all of them, they cooperate with us that we should come and become their partnership so that we can be able to see how this pipe vandalization will be minimized. And we thank God with the present GMD, Melikari. He has been supporting the program, and that is the reason why you see the quota of the crude oil now, which Nigeria is going out, has a little bit increased. Because you know, the crude oil that Nigeria is lifting before is just a small quantity. They cannot be able to meet the OPEC target. There is no way our members will participate because they have their business. And this, what is going on, is affecting them seriously. Okay. Yes, because you have to go to a very far distance before you load the product. Yes. And considering the way the risk behind the movement of petroleum product is there, it's not a small thing. Therefore, that is the reason why we, our members, all of them, we tell them they should go against it, and they're against it. And we tell them anybody that they have seen indulge in such kind of business, they should report him with immediate effect. We have already inaugurated our coordinators all over the country so that they will be monitoring anybody that they see involve himself in that distance. We quickly report. They report to us, and then we take the matter to the civil defense or Inspector General of Police. So we are still working with them. It's seriously affecting because our economy depends on this crude oil. And when this crude oil is being theft or is being vandalized, definitely, yes, pipeline, definitely it will affect our economy because we seriously depend on the importation of this product so that we can be able to source dollar. You know, that is what I have been saying always. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he is very hardworking, and he engaged all these stakeholders that you hear I mentioned. He give them all necessary support to see that they see as much as possible they arrested all these bad acts that is happening in terms of oil vandalization. And they have been doing the job. We were eyewitness We have been seeing the way they have been battling day and night to see that at least they arrest the bandits in the country. But whenever you have some challenges, it's not something that you can quickly arrest in one day. But presently now, it has been reduced to some certain extent, but not all. But it has been reduced. The government, security agencies, all of them, they have been doing their best to see that this situation is being arrested because it's affecting the country. Anybody who knows that he has the intention in participating in these bad acts, he should quickly remove himself because this issues is affecting our country and is affecting our economy. And that is the reason why you see we have a lot of unemployment opportunities. So by the time when we are not allowing our economy to grow, definitely we may find ourselves in a situation whereby we doesn't like. Yes, they can reach our office at any time. Immediately when you know that this person is participating in such kind of acts, definitely you can report. Anybody who has any source of information of the people who are involved and said in this act, our number is on the screen. They should quickly call the number and we are going to give a quick response for that.
On that note, we round up this episode of The Verdict on IPMAN today. Keep your dice still locked on NTA, the largest network in all of Africa. IPMAN today will be back after this short break. Don't go anywhere. You're welcome back from The Verdict. Yes, indeed, pipeline vandalism and crude oil theft can come to an end if only we will apply the same measures that the president just talked about. Let me take you over now to CNG Roundup by Tetraco Energy. Remember, I told you earlier at the beginning of the show that this is a whole new segment. And today's topic will feature the role of natural gas in Nigeria's energy landscape, an overview of CNG, LNG, and PNG. Let me take you over now to CNG Roundup by Tetraco Energy.
My name is Dio Williams. I am Program Executive at Tetraco Group. I lead the effort to expand our businesses across Africa and beyond, and generally ensure business diversification and multiplication. First off, it's important to state that as a country, Nigeria has an abundance of natural gas. In fact, we have been estimated to have about 200 TCF of natural gas reserves. And the interesting thing is that the bulk of these reserves are reserves that has not been tapped yet. In the wake of the recent changes in the energy sector and the shift away from dependence on fossil fuel as our means of energy, we are seeing more active demand for natural gas as opposed to what we used to have then. In fact, it's been estimated that we have more than 500 million of natural gas demand, which is a deficit when we compare it to the natural gas supply that we currently have. We should also know that as a country, we have quite a number of pipeline natural gas infrastructures. Before now, we've been heavily dependent on transportation of natural gas through PNG. Basically, we have pipeline networks like the ELPS, for example, AKK and OB3 that are all poised to deliver natural gas through pipelines. But there is infrastructural constraints irrespective, because what we see is that we do not have active pipelines across the country that can feed every demand center that we have. When you now also combine it with the fact that we are currently having a yearning for substituting AGO and PMS as our means of automobile fuel to natural gas, we realize that even the deficit has become quite increased. So with the constraint of natural gas pipelines to deliver gas to every single customer that requires it, then we have a case for compressed natural gas and LNG, which are basically virtual pipeline solutions that can enable us to deliver gas through specialized trucks and containerized skids that can efficiently take that gas through road networks to demand centers across the country. Tetraco Group is already a leading company in the natural gas space, particularly even in the energy sector at large. We are interestingly one of the very first companies to operationalize the network code and start to ship gas through the Escravos Lagos pipeline system network as a private entity. We have developed huge capacity in natural gas commercialization and infrastructure development. We are currently supplying piped natural gas in excess of 60 million SCOF across a wide range of customers, leading from industrial customers to manufacturing companies, and even supporting power generation efforts in Nigeria by supplying natural gas to one of the leading IPPs in Nigeria currently. For us, the important thing is to ensure that we create a system that allows affordability, reliability, and availability of natural gas and energy across the country. Like I said, we've heavily grown our expertise and competence in pipeline infrastructure development and generally supplying gas to customers through the pipeline network. But right now, we have also diversified a little bit and developed capacity in virtual pipeline solutions. We currently commissioned our CNG facility sometime back in early this year with a combined capacity of 6 million scf per day. The intention for us is to continue to grow that capacity to ensure that we continually position ourselves to meet the compressed natural gas demand and generally the natural gas demand that the country may have. Additionally, just opposite our CNG facility, we also ground broke our LNG project. The LNG project is up to 10 million scf. That will also ensure that we are able to deliver natural gas with further distances beyond the coverage that the CNG facility can accommodate. Ultimately, for us, we realize the fact that, especially for LNG, there's been quite the focus for LNG in country in Nigeria has been to the export market. So we are fully domesticating our LNG infrastructure so that we're able to meet in-country demand, which is far above what is currently available. For us, we again are excited about the efforts of the federal government in ensuring that private players are able to sustain their operations within the virtual pipeline space by creating incentives, including access to cheaper feed gas sources for CNG that ensures that, yes, we're able to commercialize our infrastructures properly and at the end of the day, deliver results to both the stakeholders and the country at large. Tetracor is always going to be leading the efforts towards natural gas penetration in Nigeria and across Nigeria. And with the support of the government, we are very confident that we would bridge the energy deficit that we have as a country and improve energy reliability and affordability across Nigeria.
You're welcome back from CNG Roundup by Tetracor Energy. I'm sure you learned a lot. I also learned a lot on that segment. Let me bring you some tidbits of what's been happening in Nigeria's oil and gas industry. This is the news segment on IPMAN Today. Let's go.
The war on crude oil theft is on, and the industry-wide security collaboration on hydrocarbon infrastructure continues to record remarkable progress. Between the 3rd and 9th of August 2024, 177 cases were reported by several incident sources: Tantita Security Services, Shell Petroleum Development Company, Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited, Maton Engineering Company, NNPC 18 Operating Limited, NNPC Command and Control Center, and government security agencies. In the past week, 19 illegal connections were uncovered, while some underwent repairs across several locations in Bayelsa and Rivers State. 63 illegal refineries were discovered and confiscated in Oloibiri in Bayelsa State, Tumbul 3, Anyu, Okaki, Emelego, Ward X and Odwa in Rivers State, Obuzo in Abia State, Ohaji Egbema in Imo State, and Obodo Omadino in Delta State. In the past week, a vandalized, barricaded oil wellhead was discovered in Taylor Creek, Bayelsa State. Stolen crude was discovered in an oil reservoir in Tumbul 3, 4, and Alessa in Rivers State. 17 vehicle arrests were made in Mosoga, Ole, and Amokwe in Delta State, Imiringi in Bayelsa State, Korokoro and Akwa Odogwa in Rivers State, and in Akwa Ibom State. On water, 15 wooden boats conveying stolen crude were seized and confiscated in Rivers and Bayelsa State. 51 of these incidents took place in the deep blue water, 21 in the western region, 29 in the central region, and 76 in the eastern region. Between the 3rd and 9th of August 2024, 16 suspects were arrested. For NNPC Limited, there is no backing down on the war on crude oil theft until the menace is eradicated for good. Do your part. Report oil theft today.
NMDPRA hosted a stakeholders meeting involving major retail outlet managers in the FCT. During the meeting, which was jointly addressed by the Executive Directors of Distribution Systems, Storage and Retailing Infrastructure, Mr. Ogbugo Koa, and Health, Safety, Environment and Community, Dr. Mustafa Lamode, the retail outlets were pointed to the proliferation of illegal sale of petroleum products, especially PMS in jerrycans, around the metropolis and particularly along the retail outlets' roadways, and were warned to desist from servicing these illegal peddlers. Failure to do so would result in the suspension of their retail licenses. Thereafter, a team led by both executive directors and in collaboration with security agencies conducted surveillance to some outlets around the metropolis, and in the process was able to apprehend some people who were operating illegal fuel dumps around the FCT. Hello, now I have to draw the curtains on today's edition of IPMAN Today. Remember, next week, same time, 10:05 p.m. every Mondays, we'll bring you IPMAN Today. We'll bring you the verdict. We'll bring you CNG Roundup by Tetraco Energy. We'll bring you all you need to know in Nigeria's oil and gas industry. My name is Afam Okone. This is NTA, the largest network in all of Africa. And remember, NTA continues with the sublime broadcasting. Don't go anywhere.